Hi everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. We all know that the recorder's heyday is seen as the high Baroque, the first half of the 18th century, where we have masses of recorder sonatas, cantatas, concertos. But for all of those you need people to play with, which is great, but what if you want to play solo? Never fear, because there's a lot you can choose from. So I've dived into the collections for you. We're going to be looking at historical sources, but housed in nice editions that you can buy and play at home. Get my recorder so I can do some demonstrations for you. I've tried to also keep in mind different sizes of recorder, different playing levels, so let's get into it. We have to start with my favourite collection in the world, the Baroque Solo Book, published by Dolce, edited by Bernard Thomas. My copy is 20 years old and has fallen apart. I honestly think this is my most played book. Arranged for alto recorder, I would say the level of this is high. It's for the advanced pre to professional player. So let's play. I'm going to play a couple of things for you. I'm immediately drawn to maybe the most famous solo Baroque recorder repertoire. Those are the Telemann Fantasias. All 12 of them are in this book. I'm going to play you a little bit from Fantasia 8, the Spirituoso. I love this one. I've actually done multiple videos on the Telemann Fantasias, but just to remind us, they are 12 epics, a deep dive into Telemann's fantasy and imagination, and each one is an exploration of a different musical theme of the time. It's a bit like if today a modern singer released an album with one song in the style of Beyonce, one song in the style of Adele, one song in the style of Taylor Swift, one song in the style of Björk. I would love that. And the cool thing is you get a lot of information. I learned that these 12 Telemann Fantasias, they're actually written for the transverse flute, this one, and then we transpose them up a minor third to fit on recorder. However, in the original manuscript, those transverse flute fantasias are listed as being for violin. But then, in Telemann's autobiography, he talks about writing 12 fantasias for flute. And then there's another 12 fantasias that say for violin, and they're definitely for violin because they're full of double stops. This just highlights, with all of this music, they don't come ready-made from the 18th century with clear and consistent instructions. The work that these editors have to do to put it together and make sure it's playable, it's historically accurate, the information on the sources is there. That's amazing. That's one reason that I like to buy these well-researched volumes with the information in, rather than always just going to IMSLP. The other big name pieces in this book are the Partita for Solo Flute by Bach, again transposed up for recorder because it was written for the flute, which has a slightly lower range. That's the famous opening, but can I just play you a little bit nearer the end? The harmonic rhythm gets faster and faster. These chord changes start tumbling over one another. We get all these kind of Bach-like dissonances, and we get passages like this. And then onto his son C.P. Bach with the extremely striking Sonata for Solo Flute. This one is from later. Did you notice I couldn't decide how to do that trill then? I was like... I'm missing the last few pages because I played them so much they fell off the book. Now, when he transposed transverse flute music up a minor third for the recorder, we gain 3 flats. A piece in C major becomes E flat major. This was A minor, it's now C minor. It results in possibly the most beautiful hand movement I have seen in our repertoire. Would you like to see it? Watch my hand. Love it. In this whole book, there is one collection that was originally written for the recorder. Why is this? In the Baroque time, you had a lot of music that was written for open instrumentation, for the violin or flute or oboe or cornetto or recorder. Recorder players would often double on instruments. They would be flutists that would play a bit of recorder, or oboists. There wasn't that much originally written for us. Then comes Autotare. This is Autotare's Preludes and Traits. I mean, they were written for the recorder and the transverse flute. We don't really have much that's only for us. These are short preludes in all different keys. It's a lovely way to properly warm up in the style before you play. Nice. Those are the collections I gravitate towards, but there's much more in this book. The book opens with selected preludes and voluntaries collected by John Walsh. Originally published in 1705, this collects a lot of really nice Italian material, and it's fun to play on recorder. A lot of this music comes from violin repertoire. We can tell there's big jumps and nowhere to breathe, but it's beautiful harmonic material, and yeah, let's play a bit. This is by Bononcini. We open with some Corelli. We have a selection of pieces from the Division Flute 1706. This is lovely because it starts with simpler tunes that are then ornamented on. Johann Christoph Pepusch. And later in the book, we jump forward to 1740, a whole selection of pièces sans basse, pieces without bass, collected by Jean-Daniel Brown. Brown. Mixing up all these pronunciations here. These are very varied and again, it's all challenging material. Ooh, number 11, the Minuetto. This solo Baroque repertoire has all of the grace, all of the harmony, all of the structure, and you can play it on your own. Have I said everything from this book? Quantz. Joachim Quantz. We know that he's good to play on the recorder because he wrote a whole book on how to play the flute, which we can also use to learn how to play the recorder. I look at this music and my eyes fall out of my head. This is challenging stuff. I've not played everything in the book, so I'm going to try and sight read for you. A Quantz Capriccio. We're in F major. So if you're an advanced player, you want to challenge yourself and have music for the rest of your life, get this one. Also, story time. This year at the London International Festival of Early Music, I actually met Bernard Thomas. I was starstruck. I completely fangirled. I was like, oh my God, I love your book. And I think he was very friendly and pleasant and a little bit bemused. So yeah, meet your heroes. The next book I have in my collection is The Solo Recorder. I have volume 2, edited by Andrew Robinson at Peacock Press. According to the introduction, this is more stringed instrument material that has been adapted. Volume 1 is apparently more flute music. I don't have that one, but I should. In this volume, we get some of the Telemann Fantasias for violin, but then arranged for recorder. So not the flute ones, the violin ones. We have Marin Marais Couplet de Folie. Oh, that's beautiful. I've got to play it for you. And we have a selection of Bach's cello suites for recorder. So let's have a little play. Let's start with a Telemann Fantasia for violin. I'm looking at number 3. The editor has left in the double stops. A double stop is when a stringed instrument plays 2 notes at once. So I'm going to try and figure that out. As a performer, I do prefer when the editor puts in solutions for double stops, like in Michaela Petri's excellent arrangements of the Bach cello suites for recorder. She makes beautiful options that we can play, but I can also completely see that other people might want to make their own versions of the double stops. So, oh, Marin Marais Couplet de Folie, one of the greatest hits of the French Baroque repertoire. We have a ground bass, a repeating bass line, and a melody on top that sounds like this. That was me kind of arpeggiating these chords that would be double, quadruple stopped on a string instrument. And then Marais gives no fewer than, I think it's 35 variations? 32. Only 32. Then finally the book goes to some of the Bach cello suites. Let's play you some of the prelude from suite number 2. So this is a wealth of beautiful music. This is all string music arranged for the recorder rather than winds music. And you do feel the difficulty. Where do we breathe? What do we do with the double stops? So I actually would like to get book 1. So that's something to keep in mind. I am excited about these ones. So the 2 books I've showed you so far have been advanced level for the Alto recorder. What if you want a bit more variety and different sizes? I've got you covered, or rather, Eric Haas has you covered. Eric has published 4 thoroughly excellent volumes. I have 2 of them, the Alto Solo Book and the Tenor Solo Book. Unsurprisingly, there's a soprano and bass as well. So, because I hear a lot of you crying, yes, but I don't play alto, or I don't only want to play 30 years of Baroque music. What about earlier and later? It's all in. It goes, of course, without saying that it's solo music. You can play these pieces on any size of instrument. You can take alto music and play it on your descant. You will just have to follow the fingerings because otherwise it will go out of range. Let's have a look at what we have from the Baroque. The Caledonian Pocket Companion, published from 1743, so we're still in the Baroque times, by James Oswald, and it's almost a little bit more folky and dancey. Sounds beautiful, but I'm worried you can't see my fingers. This book is for tenor, but I want you to be able to see my fingers, so I'm going to play this on Baroque soprano. The King of France, he has run a race. The level in these volumes is a bit more varied. You have the professional pieces like the Bach cello suites. There, I could spend my whole life on that. But you've also got these tunes that are more playable for intermediate players. We've got some really lovely English collections included. John Playford, Robert Carr, Henry Playford, Charles Babel. Again, this is beautiful music that's more accessible for intermediate players. Playford's Dancing Master. Let's have a look. Where does this more accessible intermediate level Baroque music come from? Some of them are tunes for dancing, like the Playford Dancers. If you are making music for dancing to, it has to be rhythmic, it has to be melodious and playful, not too intricate. Basically, the attention isn't going to you, it's going to the dancers. We've also got some educational material such as John Walsh's Complete Tutor to the Oboe. And because it's oboe music, it works beautifully. It's a wind instrument. And while we've looked at the tenor book, let's have a quick perusal of the alto. This one follows the same formula of solo music from the 13th to the 21st centuries. Again, we have the English dancing collections by Playford. Ooh, 50 English airs by George Bingham. This is really nice, like improver to intermediate level. So if you've not been playing for so long, you can still play this. But we also have in the book some much more advanced material. I don't know where to go next. Okay, in my brain, I was making a connection to French music. So can we please go there first? Otherwise, my brain won't like it. We have a suite by Daniel Demoivre. Yeah, Boismortier. We have so much Boismortier. He wrote a lot for flutes, for flute trio, flute duo, and here we have solo. Let's play a little... Oh wait, this is the alto book. I can just say it my alto, can't I? How about an allemande? I don't have time in the video to describe all of the collections included, but when it's collected in a book like this, you've got a whole range of stuff to choose from. And I know we have to go a few decades earlier than the scope of this video, but it would be remiss of me not to mention the biggest collection of solo music specifically for the recorder, Van Eyck's The Flute and Lusthof. I know, I said this video would be high Baroque. Van Eyck is early Baroque, but I had to mention it. I'm not going to go into it now because I have so many Van Eyck videos on this channel. Team Recorder is basically a Van Eyck fan account. Oh, that's my book falling on the floor. But The Flute and Lusthof is a huge collection of solo music. It goes from very simple tunes to very advanced diminutions. I'll put some links below. And just before I close the video, I want to show one more collection I was sent by one of my viewers. It's all beautiful early music for between 2 and 4 recorders. So it's not solo. 75 works selected with the improver to intermediate players in mind, useful for teachers and players alike. This is amazing. There is a piece by A. Holmes called Procrastination. I'm just going to play you the top line. I'll put the link below. I'll put all of the links in the description. Thank you so much to our tireless editors and musicologists for making this wonderful music available for us. If you want to use this music, then please go and buy them below, because that's what supports our music community and helps us to keep making more scores for you to play. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here in the corner. Here's the Team Recorder Patreon if you want to support the channel, and here's some other videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.